Peace, everyone. What's going on? It's your boy, Aseer the Duke of Tears. Let you know it's really beautiful out here. What, the second day after the Prophet's 131st birthday, inshallah. All praises due to our Prophet, and all praises due to all of us that acknowledge that. Um, all praises due to everybody that went through celebrations and all of that. There's a lot of other stuff happening, of course, in the community. But what I would like to talk about real quick is what's about to go down in Israel and all that. Being that there's a lot of people that write me from behind the lines, you know what I'm saying, out there in Palestine and places like that, as well as people who are of the Falashim nationality, as well as that brother, peace to you, that sent me the information about how they trying to bulldoze the Moroccan quarter in Old Jerusalem. You know what I mean? So that's really whack that they're trying to get rid of the original people that helped set the foundation, because the Moroccan Moors, or the so-called thing, going all the way back to when Salah ad-Din, peace be upon him, took over in 750 AD. You know what I mean? The Moors laid the groundwork for what became the Dome of the Rock and all of that came later. So, yeah, they're about to have this so-called secret meeting with about 56 different countries that are about to meet. I believe it's going to be in Switzerland. It's either going to be in Minsk, another spot called Stad. It might be there, or they said it's like 3 different locations. But anyway, the most important thing about that is that they doing a secret meeting about what they're going to do with Israel, being that your boy that's leaving is trying to destroy and break up all the toys before the new boy that's coming in there can start to play with them and make friends with him. You know what I'm saying? So I say that now just to say that there are 56 countries meeting about what they're going to do in terms of the establishment of a separate state outside of Israel. Now, we know that Israel was set up as a so-called Zionist state during the 6-day war that took place, but based on the justification allegedly of Hitler allegedly exterminating the Jews, they allegedly supposed to have a right to determination to have their own state. But what they did was, in 67, they wanted to destroy that, because at that time all of Jerusalem and all that was under jurisdiction of Egypt, and Nasser and a lot of other Moors that came after was totally against that. So that allegedly set in the era of what we'll call destruction. Once the Israeli state was established, they had to create their own Freemasonic order. I mean, their own Freemasonic intelligence order that we'll refer to as Mossad, which their motto was war by deception. So in that, they subjugated the dark-skinned melanated people, whatever that they call Palestinians over there, and basically railroaded them into a second-class citizenship situation. Then they created a political system by which all Israeli so-called children are conscripted by 18, where they gotta go to the army. They don't have no choice. In that, then, to give themselves some sort of fake justification for being a state, they did a mass exportation of Falashim, so-called Jews, i.e. Hebrews, out of Ethiopia, who were put at odds with the greater Ethiopian government due to the mismanagement of the reparations they were supposed to receive from Italy after World War II. And the fact that His Majesty Haile Selassie, who was the first Postmaster General of what became the UPU, they never reconciled that in terms of the money and the finance. So they owed a lot of money. Ethiopia's owed a lot of money. So in order to do that, they wanted to bring a lot of so-called Falashim Jews from Ethiopia, who allegedly were persecuted by the traditional Coptics, which is a lie, and then brought them over through the puppet state at that time, which was Eritrea, and then moved them to Israel, Jerusalem. So now the chickens is coming home to roost, and now they having a 56 country meeting by which they're going to decide how they're going to establish a Palestinian state, which would then basically force now Israel to reduce land. So how they was moving into the Gaza Strip and all that, they about to start forcing them to reduce that land back, which then is going to force the Israeli military to feel like their borders is being stamped on. So they're going to start to reach out for the military aid. What will also happen now is that this will allow Palestinians to receive aid from other foreign troops like the United States. But remember, the United States is under the Brotherhood of Death. It's split between the Brotherhood of Death and the Brotherhood of Eagles. So this dude, Obama, is trying to destroy as much of what stuff he could do before this other shield, this other puppet come in to basically do the opposite of what Obama did. If you look at Trump's career, one thing about Trump, he a $5 Indian. People don't know. So when he was going at the Indians about how they can't have casinos and all that type of stuff, he at the same time went and claimed his I think Roanoke nationality, right, as a so-called Indian, and in that reduced the tax burden on him to be able to have to flip it, so now he could open the casinos the same way that the Indians was doing it, right? So this boy get money. So regards to what you talking about, this nigga know how to get money. You know what I'm saying? So in that, what he wants to do, or one of the things he wanted to do, was basically go in and lock down this situation with Russia to create a non-aggression pact treaty, so that way they can go in and do certain things. So they put in this new stipulation that he can't do anything with Russia unless they settle the Crimea situation. But you got to understand, the United States got Russia encircled with all of their military bases over there. But you also got to understand that the United States is in ultimate receivership because they now $1.2 trillion a month in debt to China, which then means China going to have a fire sale when they come over here to do their thing. Also, if the Israelis put their treaty thing in play, then that means Russia would have to come and help protect Israel against whoever is coming in there to go through Israel, because you can't go to Palestine. You got to go through Israel to get to Palestine. So that means then that the Russian troops going to be on the ground, you know what I'm saying, protecting the cargoes that's going in there now to fund the indigenous people, right? Which basically is the same thing that's going to be going on over here. So you have all these white nationalists, and at the same time now, MI6, which is connected to Mossad, which is connected to CIA, that has the silent coup d'etat against this other puppet Trump coming in, they now putting it out there that MI5 done confirmed that the Russians did something. So what that now means is this gives this guy the pretense for the fake news. See, the funny thing is that the people who pumping the fake news is saying that everything that they not talking about is fake. So the fake news people who put out the fake news is saying that this type of news is fake. So in that, what that means is that this yellow journalism has gotten to the point where nobody believes mainstream media. Therefore, all of media now has changed and taken out of the hands of the conglomerates and now into the people who sit there and listen to people like me, and then it's like, oh, this nigga lying. And then when they go and check it out, it turned out to be true. They like, well, how he know? Well, how don't you know? How you don't know this? Because this is public knowledge. Like, this is how we supposed to be informed.
Word.
But Moorish or Moors are the only people that deal with international law in the black community, period. Anybody else that's dealing with that is dealing with some sort of commercial situation where they just trying to get money from Africans and other people from other nations. Whereas real Moors in the empire, we doing international work to move forward what needs to be done to make sure that our people don't fall in the pit when this thing go down.
Islam.
So long story short, they don't put it out there. So this gives this dude a pretense now to suspend the transfer of power, which is then going to put all the white nationalists at odds, because just so happens this dude Trump done ordered 20,000 troops, 20,000 private contracted killers from Russia to come and hold him down and his family down during the inauguration. He know it's so hot that he put on a little kite out that his family is not going to be in the White House like that. Wow. You understand? Like, he already know what's going down. So at the same time, while this is happening, your man is going in, and this is why the birth certificate thing ain't gonna happen. All that's about to come out with your man that's in there now. Also, the reason why the Trump, they can't get at him also with the taxes again was because he claimed the $5 Indian nationality thing. But he's a German, so that means the white nationalists is looking out for him. So they ready to go if this dude try to hold off on the power. You know what I'm saying? So the other side of that is that Eric Prince is the brother of the Caucasoid woman that he has put in play to be on his cabinet. So dude announce that. You know who Eric Prince is? Eric Prince is the one that did Blackwater. Blackwater was the ones that was down there in Katrina shooting people when they was trying to get out, posing as police officers and stuff. Not saying that the police wasn't doing that either, but they were one of the contracted companies doing it. They were the ones that got in court in that whole Benghazi thing. They was also involved in the slaughter, in the massacre of Kabul. Like, research what I'm talking about, man. This is just real talk. So, long story short, how does this affect us as Moorish Americans? This affects us as Moorish Americans because we have treaties with everybody that's at odds with each other. So all we got to do is consolidate ourselves as a group, as a power base, meaning consolidate around a centralized government that we form for ourselves, based upon us being true American citizens, based upon us being Moorish Americans, based upon us being the indigenous people of the land, based on us being the direct descendants of the Olmecs and these type of people that was already here, based on us being all the original Muslim terms: Cherokee, Choctaw, Muskogee, Washoe, Panahasua, Roanoke, Tappahannock, Rappahannock, like all of this, Lenape, Renape, all of these are all Moorish Muslim titles. And the story is now starting to come out that this is who we really are. So in that, we have a rich and vast culture that is very much dependent upon what happens in the world to a degree, because we're such physical, non-physical people that while we're on physical earth, we're supposed to make our earth like our heaven. Therefore, we can't do that if we don't know what part of the galaxy we in, what part of the who's fighting this or who's fighting that. I don't care what these niggas do. I don't care what Trump do. I don't care what Obama do. I don't care what none of these niggas do, because none of these niggas is helping me get money or move on or get free. The only person that's helping me do that is me. Allah, the Prophet, the Moors of our Sultanate, the Moors of our empire. You know what I'm saying? You, the people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all that's tired of all of this foolishness. You mean to tell me it's been 131 years? 131 years? That's another thing. You want to go to these Moors and they trying to bash people like me. Yo, next time they start to do that, ask them, yo, where's your emergency fund at? Ask them that. Because any temple that don't got no emergency fund is out of order, period. Right. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's what, I'm not saying that to hate on you. That's what the prophet said. But they pick and choose what they want the prophet to be based upon their argument or what they trying to extort out of whoever. But that's not, but this is a new time. This is a new era. This is a new phase in human existence by which we don't have to hide who and what we are anymore, man.
Islam.
We don't have to act like, I don't have to walk around and act like I'm gonna make somebody uncomfortable for looking like this. Like, if you uncomfortable for looking like this, something wrong with you. Because you see these Hindus walk around every day with their turbans. You see these Jews and these other people walk around every day in these turbans. Excuse me, in they turban and in their national headdress or they yarmulke or whatever. Right. So unless you're ready to bang on them, don't talk to me. Just come to me, and if you come in love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I'm saying? Word. This is the original American flag, man. This was the flag that was here before everybody. Word. You know what I mean? It's just back then, it ain't had no green star on it. You know what I mean? It was all red, excuse me. Let me hold it up so they don't think I'm worshiping Baphomet or some shit, because you know these Moors get crazy with dumb shit. So, this is the flag that was flying here. This is the real American flag. That place over there that's using this, they renting this right now because that's our cousins through Hagar. They the Hagarenes, and they're in the kingdom. We're in the empire. Al-Maghreb, Al-Aqsa. So therefore, we have a different pedigree when it comes to how we get down here. But because a lot of our people are caught up in trying to bang on knowledge now, that's the new gang banging, knowledge and all that. So I know this, man. Anybody that ever said anything negative about the Prophet Noble Charlie in this movement, you don't even hear from them no more. They don't have no respect. Anybody that's ever said anything negative about the Prophet, and I've been watching for years, when they come out with all of that drama and all that, they get disrespected. So I'm not saying, so again, you don't have to be a Moor in the Moor Science Temple to respect the work that the Prophet Noble Charlie did. You ain't got to be a registered car-carrying Moor or even a declared Moor to acknowledge the Moorish Empire or what the forefathers left for us to do, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real about where we at. So again, I want to give thanks to Imperial Divine Prime Minister for hosting me at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Islam. You know what I'm saying? I want to give thanks to all the praise to the Moors who came for the summit, all the Moors that came and went through some of the ceremonies that we had, of course. Anybody that wants to holler at me about any of the stuff that I talked about earlier, we could do that. Remember, like I said, we're still in a flux situation, so you don't know if they're going to get him in or not. Whether he get in or not, it's about what you do. It's about who you're voting for. It's about who your president is. You know what I'm saying? So vote for yourself as president of your own country, which is your own body, which is your own temple, which is your own arm, leg, arm, head, which is the foundation of that. I self, Lord, and master, inshallah. You know what I'm saying? So, is there anything else, Moors?
Long live the Empire.
Long live it.
Islam.